Okay. Okay, I'm just getting ready. Then we can dive in. I don't want to wait too long to get into it because I want to make sure I have enough time to do all the air signs and then move on to the next stream at 7. So just getting my pre-shuffles done for the reading. And then we'll dive in. Yeah. Oh, this light is changing. I wonder if this will help. Ooh, that helps a little bit. Awesome. Saying 1 minute sunny, next thing it's getting a bit overcast. Well, kind of. It's getting later in the day. That's more the thing. So I quickly put the side lamp on. So yeah. I wonder if I can move this a bit more. Don't to. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. I think this is a little bit earlier than I did the last ones. That's okay. All right. Because I don't want to do them too late in the evening. So I think I'm about ready. Let's have a swig of my drink first. Okay. So let's get stuck in, I think. So to everyone that's going to be watching this, those of you who will drop in and out, just want to say a quick hello and welcome to my second ever live stream. Yeah, I did a previous live. It was a self-care live that's still on the page now. You can check it out there. About a week ago or so, about a week and a half ago. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. It was a marathon of a session. So I decided to, rather than do all the signs in one go, I'm splitting them up in regards to the elements. So that's why this first stream here is in relation to the air signs, right? So I think it will be better for you guys. I think it will be better for me. It'll make it easier to find your signs. And yeah, to bookmark it as well if you want to come back to this reading and take a look at that. Because particularly as I was saying in the announcement video, that this particular reading is going to be dealing with some very heavy themes. I don't know what's going to come up for each sign. It just depends on what energy is going to be pulled and what is going to be the most beneficial and relevant to the particular group that I'm tapping into at this time, okay? So just be aware of that I can't control what messages come through, okay? It just depends on what needs to be communicated. So just to give you an idea of the general layout, I will be using a few different decks, 3 different decks. So the first thing I'll be doing is pulling the overall energy that the shadow is revealing at this time, okay? So I'll be using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck to do that. It's one of my favorite decks for this because it really helps you get into the nitty-gritty and help you to see the kind of energies that we suppress, which really needs taking a look at in order to be healed within ourselves, okay? So I love using this deck. Next of all, I'll be pulling a card from the Moonology Oracle deck, which is a really beautiful deck, perfect for doing readings in the time of the, lunar calendar, right? Lunar cycles. So I really love using this. And this will be in regards to pulling the advice at this time to help you release this energy. And then what I'll be doing is using the Wild Unknown Tarot in order to get insights into your fears at this time, the karmic cycle that's playing out currently, and your desires, okay? So we're really looking at this in regards to, you know, the deep inner work and the shadow work, okay? This is a shadow work reading to help you really uncover things that lie dormant in our subconscious mind, but also the things that we try and suppress from our, you know, conscious selves, essentially. So the shadow side of ourselves, but it's also very spiritual as well as it is psychological, okay? So be aware of that. So just to let you know, you can look at this in regards to your sun sign, but in order to get the most benefit out of it, I would say take a look at this in regards to at least your moon sign, but you can also look at your astrological placements for your Lilith asteroid and as well as your black moon Lilith, okay? So I've included links in the description for this live stream so you can go and quickly calculate what your placements are if you don't know your natal chart, okay? So the first link in the description will show you how to calculate your full chart. And the second link is for specifically calculating your Lilith moons, okay? So do check that out if you don't know your placements. But as I said, you can look at this in regards to your sign, in regards to your sun sign, but you'd get the most benefit out of it if you look in regards to your moon and your asteroid Lilith and your black moon Lilith, okay? All right, so let's get stuck in. Hey peeps, I see you guys popping in. Welcome, nice to see you here. You're a Libra, excellent. You're on the right page then, the right stream. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so I've already pre-shuffled the cards for you, but I always do another shuffled live on the camera. So now we will be starting with the sign of Gemini. Okay, so I'm going to do it in regards to the Zodiac calendar. So seeing as we're starting with their signs, I'll start with Gemini. So Gemini, let's see if I can actually put a timestamp here to make it easier. I don't know if that worked. I don't know. Moving on. So Gemini, let's see what the shadow is revealing in regards to the full moon energies at this time. Bearing in mind, just to let you guys know, we have a full moon in Scorpio over the next 24 hours. The transit goes into effect, I believe, from the 7th, but we'll be feeling the energies now. So with it being in Scorpio, this talks about transformation, okay? Huge transformation across the board. This is the perfect time to do the shadow work. It's the time to look at yourself in the dark mirror and be very objective, understand what fears are coming to the surface, what our desires are as well, where these feelings of loss may come from, anything really that we kind of suppress because we're too afraid to look at. Now is the time to do that work because it's a perfect opportunity to release that and step into a higher vibration, become a newer version of ourselves, okay? Really, really transformative energy. So it's a great time to do this deep inner work and healing, okay? So Gemini, what is your shadow revealing? Okay. So the first card for Gemini is obsession. Okay, so that's the main energies that's being shown by the shadow at this time for the collective I'm tapping into. So what this talks about is an obsession with something that doesn't serve your highest good, that keeps you in a lower vibration, okay? And I feel like in this case, it is the addiction to things that make us feel good on the surface level, okay? So instant gratification. I mean, that is very much the energy of obsession anyway, right? It's instant gratification, things that make us feel temporarily good, that gives us a massive high. But then when there's the low is so low, okay? So it's like that real extreme where there's a real peak. And then once we've reached that moment and the moment has passed, the low that comes with it is just as high as, is just as deep, right, as the highs, essentially. So this is what the shadow is revealing, this addiction to this sort of momentum, okay, this wave that you're riding of going up and down, you know, really riding the highs, but then really falling with the lows, okay? So that's something that needs addressing at this time. So we'll look at what that can be in regards to. Hi, Tashawn. This is in regards to Gemini. We're doing Gemini first, okay? And then we'll move on to Libra and then Aquarius last, okay? So just so you guys know. All right. So, Gemini, what is this obsession and what is the advice in regards to this obsession that you have? This thing that you've been fixated on, this thing that gives you this instant gratification, this rush, okay? That makes you feel alive, essentially. It's pretty much like fire energy. I get a lot of fire energy from that. You could have fire placements in your chart somewhere. Okay. All right. So the advice we got here from the moon is do not let your past hold you back. South Node. Okay, that's really interesting. So this very much ties into your past situations, okay? This can be past relationships, particularly your connections with family members, things from your past in your childhood growing up, okay? You may have been a child that's been quite, that was quite rebellious. Either you were very rebellious and you got a lot of satisfaction out of rocking the boat, okay? Getting people to chase after you, that, you know, sort of dynamic, you know, the cat and mouse kind of dynamic. Either that or you were very reserved and you felt very powerless in a lot of situations. So you use this kind of energy that has been building up inside, you know, to be a catalyst, you know, in later life. So when you came into situations or came across situations that reminded you of times where you felt powerless or times that made you feel like someone was trying to overpower you, assert their dominance, right? You would then do things that you knew would rock the boat, okay? That would cause this person to be unsettled in some way or invoke this kind of cat and mouse dynamic, right? That's what I'm getting from it. So it's really asking you to look back on these circumstances, okay? Look back at your previous timeline because you're entering a new timeline. We all are, okay? So you're being asked to look back on the previous timeline, everything that you've experienced from pretty much birth to this point, really evaluating those situations, where this obsession for this kind of dynamic came from, okay? When you can really remember it, you know, becoming a thing, an aspect in your life, okay? Almost to the point where it became like a character trait, right? That you would be rebellious and mischievous and, you know, a bit devious, right? So really looking at that, especially when it comes to your Lilith energy, I feel like that energy of chaos really pulls through this, okay? It really comes through in these certain dynamics that you have with certain connections, okay? Particularly in your relationships as well. I don't doubt that it's been very turbulent because of this kind of dynamic of push and pull and, you know, needing things to be very like, you know, chopping and changing constantly, you know, not stable, okay? There's this almost like an allergic reaction to stability is what I'm getting with this combination. So we'll see when we pull the tarot now. And as I said, these are going to be quite brief, okay? Because I don't want these readings to be too long because I'm already going over time. So these are just going to pull the main energies, okay? And then we'll move on to the next sign. Okay. So in regards to what your fears are at this time, okay, you have the Sun of Swords, okay? This energy is the Knight of Swords. So this is your energy, okay, as well as Aquarius and Libra. Now, what this is talking about is, you know, because you felt, like I said, you felt powerless, there were situations where you felt like you weren't able to act. You're afraid that you may do something so impulsive, right, that you're not going to be able to turn back the time. You're not going to be able to turn back the clock, right? Because generally, while you're very aware, you're very much focused in, you know, the logistical side of things and what makes sense to you. You know, you're very, I feel the people that I'm picking up on are very smart, very intelligent, very switched on. You're aware of risks, okay? You like to make calculated risks, but this energy here, right, is what pulls you into making snap decisions, spur of the moment decisions, simply because it makes you feel supercharged. It makes you feel good. It's that kick, right? Gives you that kick, even though you know it's against your better judgment. So I think you're afraid that one day you're going to really push your luck and you're going to do something that you're going to regret. So that's what I'm getting from that. In regards to your karmic cycle that's currently playing out, you have the 10 of Wands, okay? So this is talking about fire energy, okay? Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. This is talking about certain pathways coming to an end, certain timelines coming to an end, right? Cycles coming to an end. So there was something that took place, right, on this timeline. I feel like possibly certain connections are being wrapped up because they are connected to this energy that's being released at this time. Whatever this obsession is, whatever gives you this kick, right? This buzz. And it could be just about anything. Addiction and obsession can come in various forms, okay? So whatever is tied to this obsession with this need to be doing something or participating in something or drawn to certain types of people, whatever it is, right? That's coming to an end. So a lot of connections are closing. A lot of karmic connections, right, are being drawn to a close at this time for you, Gemini, because they don't serve you, okay? It's not in your best interest. And you're starting to realize by drawing back and looking back on the previous timeline and understanding where this need to participate in certain actions, certain behaviors, connecting with certain people, you understand where this is coming from. You're better understanding why you were drawn to these specific people, right? And these kind of situations. So you're now closing that cycle out, knowing that it would be in your highest good to move forward in a new direction. And then in regards to your desires, you have the Mother of Swords in reverse, so more air energy, okay? So this is talking about getting to the point where you don't really want to come across as someone who is very flighty and doesn't do things without, a sense of reasoning, okay? You also don't want to come across as someone that's insincere, that doesn't learn from their experiences, that just puts themselves in the same situations over and over again. What you want is to come across as someone who is dependable, someone that people are instantly drawn to from their strength, right? From their conviction, from their understanding. That's what I'm getting from this. But at the same time, you don't want to be too cold and distant. You want to be approachable. As much as you want to be seen as strong and independent and, wise to things, you want to be approachable. You want to be sought after still. There's still that need to be wanted is what I'm getting from this, right? But at the same time, yeah, while you're trying to take a more rational approach to this, whatever this energy is, and while you're trying to step more into the space of being, aware and wise to, whatever, you're still wanting to be approachable. You still want to know that people are drawn to you, that people still seek your attention, essentially. So that's what I'm getting from that. So I hope that was useful in some way, Gemini, just to give you the main energy that's coming up at this time for you to work on, okay? So moving on, let's go on to Libra now. So just a heads up, I'm now moving on to the sign of Libra. So let's take a look and see what the shadow is going to reveal for you at this time, Libra. I don't know if these toggle things works with these timestamps. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see afterwards, I guess. But I'm going to add timestamps to this anyway for the people that are watching this after the fact. So Libra, 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 what's going on with you? Okay. Libra. Ooh, that was feisty. You're getting a bit feisty on me. Libra, what's going on? Okay. So the card you got is Perchance to Dream. Interesting. So this is talking about, this is kind of like wanting to let go, but also wanting to stay. It's like being caught between two energies, essentially. It's like there's a part of you that is fighting the need to let go. But at the same time, there's a part of you that just kind of wants to release everything pretty much, because I feel like you've had a bit of a rough time for some of you. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot on your plate, a lot of energies that you've had to work through and decipher between what is yours and what belongs to someone else. And I feel like because of that, sometimes it can get overwhelming, particularly because you, Libra, right? You like things to be balanced. You like things to make sense. You like to know that there's this equal give and take. So when you feel like things are so out of whack, that things are so out of balance, sometimes you just want to give up. You just want to throw your hands in the air and just be like, it is whatever it is, you know, because it's just, it doesn't make sense to you, okay? Especially when people start acting a certain way and saying one thing and doing another, and things are very complicated. You don't do well with that, because with you, everything's very clear cut, right? So this is the thing. This is what I'm getting from this, that you're just kind of in this space where you're like, well, you know, if that's how things are going to be right now, then good luck to you. Deal with it. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not up to me to weigh everything out and make sense of it all, and like all the time, right? I'm not doing this. So you're kind of between this space of wanting to just give up, essentially, but also still clinging on, holding on to things from the recent past. And I feel like this is necessarily just things from further back, but things that have happened recently that you're still struggling to release, essentially. So that's what I'm getting from that. Okay. So let's have a look, see what the advice is from the moon, from our dear Mother Goddess Moon herself. For you, Libra. Ooh, I like this. You got supermoon, emotions are running high. This is probably the last card that you want, Libra, but this is good. This is the opening, okay? This is, like I said, you're wanting to give up. You're wanting to just release it and just be like, well, it is what it is, you know, and detach. But this is the opposite of what's actually happening. You're being opened up, okay, so that you can address this energy where you felt like things have been so imbalanced, right? Because that's the thing. Our reality is often a manifestation of what's going on internally. You've got to remember that the macrocosm and the microcosm are one and the same. Okay, so that's really important to understand. So whatever you're experiencing outside of yourself, you're going to be experiencing on some level internally. Okay, so be aware of that. So this is why it's important that your emotional space is opening up, your heart chakra is opening up, because there are some things that need addressing, particularly when it comes to how you feel emotionally, how you process your emotions, okay, how you know, because I feel like you may compartmentalize, you may put your emotions in one box, your thoughts in another, and try to keep everything very separate, right? But that's not going to work for you, okay? You have to kind of integrate the two and understand that thoughts and emotions will pass, okay? You will go through all sorts of emotions and thoughts throughout your lifetime with regards to many different situations, and it's okay to experience it, okay? As long as you don't harbor your emotions, harbor negative thoughts, that's what needs releasing, okay? So then let's have a look in regards to the tarot and see what's going on in regards to your current karmic cycle, what else you've got going on in regards to your fears surrounding this energy, and also your desires at this time. As I said, the best to get the best out of these readings, it's worth looking at it in regards to your moon signs, but also your asteroid Lilith and your black moon Lilith, okay? So I've put links in the description so you can calculate those charts if you don't know already, okay? That's how you can maximize this particular reading for you at this time. So, but you can look at this in regards to your sun sign if you prefer. If you feel like it will resonate most with you, that's how you feel intuitively, then go for it, okay? You know best for yourself. All right, so let's see. Ooh, all in the emotions, Libra. I don't think you're very much used to that, but it's happening. All right. So in regards to your fears, you have the 8 of Cups, water energy, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. You are trying to, like I said, you're trying desperately to detach. You're trying to walk away. You're trying to leave something behind, a situation behind, a series of situations behind, this energy behind. You're like, I'm so done with being the voice of reason. I'm so done with trying to do things fairly, trying to balance the scales, trying to micromanage everything and everyone in the entire universe. So I think you're coming to understand that some things are, you know, chaotic in our lives. Some things are seemingly outside of our control. You can't control every little thing. People are going to disappoint you. People are going to show colors that you never anticipated. People are going to do stupid shit as well, right? And I know that does your head in, Libra, for the most part, but you just got to come to accept that. So what you're doing is you're walking away, and rather than allowing your emotions to get the better of you, okay, what you got to do is to separate, okay? Not detached, but separate, you know, how you are, your physical, your mental, and your spiritual state from your emotional state, okay? That's what you need to separate, not detach emotionally, but understand that while you'll feel like crap at times, it is not a state of being. It will pass, okay? So that's really important. And I think you're afraid that if you take this time to really go deep within and look at where this comes from, that you're going to get too much caught in your emotions, right? But that's not the case. I feel like, as this card indicates, your emotions are already running very high, okay? You're very much in your heart space as it is. So that's not the case. All it's going to do by doing the introspective work is help you understand, right, how you can better manage those emotions, how you can better understand that these things will pass. It's not a permanent state of being, okay? That it's okay to allow yourself to feel it and to know that it's going to move on, okay? That you are going to move on. So in regards to your karmic cycle at this time, you have the Mother of Cups, so more water energy. This is the Queen of Cups, okay? So what's being communicated here is that you're coming to the awareness that you have an emotional body, okay? Because you maybe have this tendency to try and look at things, like I say, from a very fair, rational point of view, straight down the middle, okay? Like no nonsense kind of approach to things. But you're starting to become more and more aware of your emotional body and how that influences you on a physical level, how that influences you spiritually, mentally, okay? So you're really starting to tap into that. And that's why certain cycles have been playing out, okay? Because it had to, in order for you to come to this awareness that you're now gaining now, so that you can find this equilibrium on all levels and understand that it's okay to express your emotions. It's okay to feel those emotions. And it's okay that, you know, things do not always meet your expectation. That's how you grow. That's how you understand. That's how you decipher what's beneficial for you and what's not, okay? Like you need that. You need to be able to differentiate that, okay? So that's the thing. That's why certain situations are playing out, so you can come to understand, you know, why you're having this experience, you know, why it's so integral as, you know, a spirit being having a human experience, to go through heartache, happiness, joy, sadness, the whole shebang, right? And then finally, in regards to your desires, you have the 5 of Wands in reverse, okay? So fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So what's being communicated is that what you want more than anything is to not feel this conflict, not to feel at odds with yourself, not feeling like everything is a battle in life. Every connection is a battle. Every connection is a letdown. There's some failure involved. There might be some perfectionism here, okay, that needs addressing. I'm kind of getting that energy with this, where, you know, you feel like nothing really meets your criteria. So that's something you may need to address and understand where this perfectionist, you know, point of view comes from. And again, because you like things to be so balanced, you understand, you know, you have a very, I feel like you have a very astute awareness of morality and fairness and equality, right? So those kind of things might be very important to you, like human rights, animal rights, things like that, right? Because you have this innate awareness of morality, okay? So when things seem imbalanced, you really struggle with that, okay? And that causes a lot of inner conflict for yourself, not just conflicts between you and others, right? But I think what you want more than anything is to not feel like you're constantly at odds with yourself and the world around you, okay? That you can find some kind of sense of harmony, essentially. That's what you want more than anything. You want inner peace, you want balance, you want harmony. You don't want to feel like, a volcano is about to erupt every 5 seconds. You want to feel like you can enter this space of just true inner peace, right? That's what I'm feeling with this. So that's why there's this temptation to just release everything and to just let things be, right? But again, I think it's just separating your emotions from your actual, state of being. That's going to be a big helping factor for you, okay? So I hope that helps you, a Libra, okay? So now we're going to move on to Aquarius, okay? So we're actually doing good. We're doing quite well with time, so I'm really glad about that. I was planning to finish a little bit earlier, but, I started a little bit late as well, like 10 minutes late or something, so it's fine. Okay, so Aquarius, let's see what's going on with you guys. So just having a quick look at the comments, because I've just been trying to make sure that I get these messages across because they are really important. Okay, we do have an Aquarius here. Oh, lots of Gemini in your chart. Wow, okay. Very much ruled by Gemini. That's interesting. It's not often I see that much of one particular zodiac sign in multiple placements on a chart. So that's very, very interesting. Okay. So yeah, I hope you find that helpful if you saw Gemini's reading. So now moving on to Aquarius, the last of the air signs, okay? And like I said, guys, if you missed any of this and you're tuning in now and you're like, oh no, I missed my sign, that's fine. This is going to be going up on the channel straight afterwards, okay? And I will be adding timestamps too in the description. So don't worry if you missed parts of your reading. You'll be able to watch it back, okay? So Aquarius, what is the shadow revealing at this time? What is the key energies here for you? Well, you had 2 cards when it's come up. That's just greedy. We're just doing 1. Okay, Aquarius. So you have colorless angel. Okay. So here you can see this angel. His wings are like almost faded. He's looking very pale, very washed out, loss of color, right? And you can see a dark horse in the background, right? And it's looking very stormy and very dramatic, okay? So while there's all this chaos going on in the background, this angel, who I often associate with kind of like the descent of Lucifer, okay? So that kind of energy, and, downtrodden, despairing, feeling lost in some way. That's what I associate with this. This is the descent, the fall from grace, right? Colorless angel. So I feel like Aquarius, they feel like despair, genuine despair. Like, what have I got to look what is it that I'm even trying to accomplish at this time? Because nothing is coming together. Nothing's really working out. Oh, come on, don't do this. Sorry, the live stream's kind of bugging out connection-wise. I don't know why. But let me see if I can pause something or do something. Okay, that might be causing the issue. Okay, so yeah, this energy of feeling like in despair, feeling like a sense of loss, feeling like all hope is lost, really kind of crying out to the heavens, just feeling forsaken, right? That's the energy I'm getting, feeling forsaken, feeling like you're being abandoned in some way, which is really sad and tragic. So we'll have to see what's going on with that, Aquarius. Why do you feel like you're being abandoned? What's the advice here? Oh gosh, that went flying. Bear with me 1 second. Gosh, sorry, that just kind of went over to the other side of the room. Oh gosh, okay, so why does Aquarius feel despair? Why does Aquarius feel abandoned in some way or rejected? The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Okay, so maybe you feel like your higher self even is abandoning you, especially with that Gemini energy, okay? You may feel like Aquarius that you can rely on the source and spirit or God or goddesses, whatever it is that you connect with. You may feel like that your prayers are not being answered, that you're not being listened to, that the divine energies are not coming in for you, that everyone is getting their little pat on the head, everyone's getting their little blessing, and when it comes to you, you're just being skipped. Maybe that's what you're concerned with. Maybe that's why you're feeling forsaken, that you're seeing all these blessings being bestowed on others, but you feel like you're being missed out all the time, right? But as it said, the answers you need are coming. So with this full moon energy as well, maybe there's a realization, an epiphany that's going to take place for you. And you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I was never abandoned. I wasn't hearing the messages. I didn't see the messages. I was looking and expecting it to come in one format when it was actually being shown to me repeatedly in another, right? So just be aware of that. The not all messages come in the way you expect them to. Sometimes they come in the most unexpected ways, not even through, miraculous signs, but sometimes through people, chance encounters, little written messages, imagery, symbols, animals, those kind of things. Okay. So there may have been some real key communications that have been trying to come in, but you just didn't see it because it wasn't. Okay. So let's have it this time. You have the Daughter of Wands. Okay. What is this one? Sorry if I keep pausing. It's just because the connection keeps being a bit weird. So I want to make sure you get the messages. All right. That's the only reason. So Daughter of Wands, fire, okay, fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. This is the Page of Wands. This is talking about being afraid. You're really afraid to kind of, I feel like you're almost afraid to take action. You're afraid to begin tapping into certain energies. If you're new to spirituality, especially if you're new to magic in the truest sense, I feel like there is a real hesitancy and fear around tapping into that part of yourself, your spiritual awareness, your psychic gifts, your ability to manifest and using magic. I feel like there may be a lot of fear around the unknown, right? Because there's so much that you're still coming to learn, even about yourself. So there may be some fear around, but what if I try to do this and then it backfires? And what if, I don't do this right? Or, what if I try something and it just angers the universe and I get even more bad luck? Things of that nature. I feel like while you're wanting to dip your toe in more into the water, there is a lot of fear around manifestation and magic in particular, right? So that's what I'm getting. But, like I said, you will see signs when you're questioning that, when you're thinking like, is this right for me? Is this a good thing to do? Should I not? Ask for a sign. There will be one. You just have to know how to spot them, okay? So it might come in the form of numerology, synchronicity, as I would say. As I said, signs through different people, animals, things like that. So you just have to have that attuned awareness to spotting the signs, right? Okay. So you just got to tap into your intuition and be open as well to receiving the messages. Okay. So in regards to karmic cycles that are currently playing out, it's interesting because in your life, possibly Gemini as well. Or in a lot, so you could generally, you could have a either way, air signs. I feel like here, this feeling of lack, of being disregarded, of not having your blessings, of being forsaken, abandoned, right? You are emotionally really, I want to say this in the delicate way. Yeah, I just want to say I want to say this in a delicate way because as while I'll speak the truth to you, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to hold back. I don't want you to misunderstand me, right? I feel like emotionally, you are very much in a rocky place right now. I think emotionally, you may be very overwhelmed, right? And that your emotions are getting the best of you. Okay. So you may be responding to situations in a very emotional way. You might be lashing out. You might be, just pushing people away because you feel like you're being abandoned, because you feel like you are not being answered, right? That your prayers are not being answered, that you're not being listened to, that you're being ignored in some way, right? So you might have a tendency right now to lash out, okay? And that might be causing some emotional rifts between you and important people in lives, right? It might also be a case of that because someone wasn't emotionally available as well, slowly started to fade out and withdrew. So I always go trying to get everything out. You really felt it energetic energy. It hit you like a ton of bricks, right? You really felt it because you were like, my God, like even this person that I thought, the one person I could count on, the one person that cared, that was there for me, not even here. Like, and that might be where you just kind of gave up, admitted defeat, possibly even very recently, okay? Because you were like, what am I even supposed to do at this point? Like, I'm just being completely disregarded, right? So this is the thing, this kind of energy, these kind of situations with certain people is going to come up because it's confronting this energy, right? The answers you need are coming. So you have to be in this situation in order for that to come into your awareness, for you to come to understand why you feel that way and why this keeps happening. Because you're putting out this energy in the universe that you don't care about me, you don't want me, you don't want to support me, you don't love me, I'm abandoned. So that's the situations that keep repeating itself. This is the same karmic situation that keeps repeating itself, because that's, you don't realize you're actually putting that energy out there. So that's being manifested, right? So that's something you have to tackle within yourself and understand that you're not being ignored, you're not disregarded, you're not abandoned, you're not forsaken. You're very loved, okay? It comes in many forms. It doesn't always come with a mushy, soft core, right? Sometimes it comes quite hard and direct, okay? Like when something difficult gets brought to our situations rise that are painful, that's a bit of a dark night of the soul. And that's okay, because it's suffering really bad. I'm not sure what the issue is here, but all I've done this is it's been missing anything. Don't read over it and just go to the timestamps, okay? So no worries there. I'm sorry that it's being sketchy. I'll look at that afterwards, okay? But what I'm saying here is that you're going through a transformation, okay? That this is your little dark night of the soul. You'll go through many of them throughout your lives. We all do, right? This is your one at this particular moment. And the reason for this is to get you out of this old way of thinking, out of this timeline where you are manifesting lack and into a timeline where you're manifesting abundance, okay? Because you are deserving of way more than you know. That's the main thing I want to get across to you, okay? You are deserving of way more than you know. So it's important that in order to get you into a space where you can receive that, honest, but yeah, you are going through this transformation where this old version of yourself, this old way of thinking, this old way of looking at what you're entitled to, how your life is, how you are, is dying. And this new beautiful version of yourself is rising, where you see your true worth, you see your value, you see the signs that are coming in and the abundance that's pouring in, okay? So I know that one was a little bit longer, but I felt like that was really important that I got that message across and that it came across the right way, okay? So like I said, if you missed any of that because of the crazy buffering, I'm really sorry, but don't worry. This video is going up on the channel, so you'll be able to watch over that. But the key message here is that this is just a part of the process, okay? Yes, sometimes it's painful, and especially when it comes to shadow work, it is painful, but it serves your highest good in the long run. When you get past this energy and you're vibrating at a frequency you've never knew existed, you're going to be like, I'm so glad I came to understand that. I'm so glad that I went through that so I could have the awareness I have now, so I can truly understand my worth, right? So amazing. Very, very transformative reading so far. Lots of energy coming through right now. That's it's a game changer. Like I said, we're on a new timeline currently. So this is the time for the purging of the old and really embodying the new. Okay. So there's gonna be growing pains, it's gonna be tricky. There's going to be ups and downs and a bit messy in places, but that's fine. You know, it's like that. It's like when you're a baby and you're trying to talk and you're trying to walk and you're trying things out for the first time. You know, it's always a bit like strange and funny, but, you know, that's just a part of it. And then when you get to, you know, this point where new cycles are coming in, new lessons are coming in, you know, it's going to be very interesting for you. You're going to have a very new perspective, right? So I hope this helped you guys anyway. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you found this reading useful. As I said, it was just pulling the main energies at this time for you. And like I said, you know, you can look at this in regards to particularly your moon signs, your asteroid Lilith and your black moon Lilith. So you can calculate that by taking a look at the links in the description. All right. And yeah, so if you have other placements in the other elements, check out those live feeds. If you can't watch them live, you can watch them after the fact. Okay. So I'm sending you guys lots of love. Thank you so much for checking this video out, being a part of this live stream. I hope it helps you a lot, especially through this transitionary period. You're always welcome to come and talk to me on social media as well. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, you know, Twitter, all the rest of it. So yeah, don't be a stranger, you know. Come and say hi and let me know how things are going with you, and just to check in, you know, because obviously, you know, you guys are like my little family now. So I do want to know that you're all doing well. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you're interested in getting a personal reading, you're always welcome to contact me on my Facebook page as well. And other than that, I hope you have a beautiful evening on an incredible full moon in Scorpio, and that you use these energies to for your highest good and for your most benefit. Okay. So sending you lots of love, lots of kisses, lots of hugs, all the warm, gooey stuff, you know. And yeah, I know you air signs don't like that so much, but tough, I'm giving it to you anyway. And yeah, I will speak to you guys soon. But like I said, if you've got placements in, you know, your moon, asteroid, Lilith, and black moon, and the other elements, check it out. But otherwise, I will see you guys later. Bye.